So before I went to bed last night, I saw a video about the most recent executive order, and then I thought of something this morning. This was an executive order that Trump signed on day one, realigning the United States refugee admissions program. And this part of the executive order is the most important for this particular conversation. The United States lacks the ability to absorb large numbers of migrants, and in particular refugees, into its communities in a manner that does not compromise the availability of resources for Americans, that protects their safety and security, and that ensures that appropriate assimilation of refugees. This order suspends the U.S. RAP until such time as the further entry into the United States of refugees aligns with the interests of the United States. A few moments later, this executive order comes out last night, addressing egregious actions of the Republic of South Africa. Fun fact, President Elon wrote this one. This executive order starts out talking about how the South Africa government is seizing ethnic minority Afrikaners' agricultural property without compensation. And he goes on to talk about how, they're taking away equal opportunity in employment, education, and business, hateful rhetoric, and government actions fueling disproportionate violence against racially disfavored landowners. So to be clear, he's talking specifically about white people. Let's just be super clear that the minority in South Africa is white people. So Section 4 suddenly made a lot of sense because somehow we don't have room for the refugees coming from Ukraine and Afghanistan, and the list goes on. But suddenly we have room to take refugees of minorities from South Africa. As it says here, refugee resettlement and other humanitarian considerations, the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security shall take appropriate steps consistent with law to prioritize humanitarian relief, including admission and resettlement through the United States Refugee Admissions Program, aka USRAP, for Afrikaners in South Africa who are victims of unjust racial discrimination. So as we watch this administration revoke the temporary status of the Venezuelan people who were admitted here during Biden's administration, and even revoking the ones admitted under his administration by September of this year, he's giving refuge to white-only South Africans. Are we getting the plot yet? Have you got it? The fact that he is making broad claims that these people are being racially discriminated against, despite the fact that he is ignoring South African apartheid and the fact that segregation existed in the 80s and 90s there, because of the minority race that existed and had the most wealth. He's ignoring all that. He's ignoring our history of racial discrimination. And he's doing it, fun fact, in the midst of Black History Month. This is all on purpose. I really hope the people that are a little more moderate, a little more common sense, not far right and on board with Nazism and fascism are really paying attention, because we are headed down a path that is getting more and more terrifying by the day, and we have little recourse, very little recourse right now.